What's happening, y'all? We're gonna make it funky today. Special guest, Dr. Tawana Anthony. Welcome to Funk from the Front Seat on 9 on the Grind TV. So if you're out there, snap your fingers like this. Oh yeah. Florida, you in the house. Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, where you at? Detroit, Virginia, love my family over there. New York City, Strong Island, Bayshore. Shout out to the Powell family. I miss you, Tina. Maryland, DC, where you at? MPLS. Oh, I'm getting hot in here. Hold on. Pull down the window. Boom, from the front seat. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, y'all. Don't be a hater. Y'all know how we do. Ohio, Cincinnati, California, West Coast, Washington State, how you doing? Las Vegas, Nevada, Utah, O-H-I-O. Oh yeah. I need y'all to move around a little bit. I need your energy. I feel you. What's up, Brenda? Hawaii, how you doing? Samoa, doing the Humpty Hump. The Humpty Hump. Woo! Taiwan, Japan, Tokyo, China, Germany, Australia, I love you. England, Dubai. Let's put it in cruise control, y'all. Bump from the front seat. 9 on the Grind TV. Yeah. Make sure you got your sunglasses on. Today's gonna be hot, y'all. It's gonna be hot. Alrighty. You know how we do. Welcome to another edition of Funk from the Front Seat. My special guest today, Dr. Tawana Anthony. And as soon as we get her locked in, we're going to bring her in so she can chat it up with us. We got some serious things we're going to talk about. Obviously, it's Mother's Day weekend, so make sure you treat your moms right. All you mothers and you beautiful people out there that are mothers, aunts, I don't care who you are, cousins. If you're taking care of some little one, you're a mother to me. Know that I love you. I appreciate everything you do. Your family does. It's your weekend to do what you do. So we got a few birthdays. A shout out for our guest today, Dr. Tawana Anthony. We're going to wish her happy birthday to you on too. Also this week, Peppermint Patty. I know it was your birthday Thursday, and we wish you all that good stuff and all the tourists out there that's doing their thing. You know, we got you first. We know y'all are locked in, man. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are up in heaven and the mothers that are down here on earth, man. Know that you guys are the salt of the earth, and know that without you, we wouldn't even be here. So without further ado, I'm gonna see if Tawana's in the house. I'm gonna check with my main man Mark Lee behind the glass. He's the one that keeps everything spanking, moving, keeps it going. Mark, I appreciate you. I love you, man. I know you're gonna be doing something with your mom later on. Is Dr. Anthony in the house? Yes, she is. Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday. How you doing? I know you down there in Florida. See, the
I was
word
about to
gets
say
back.
I'm well, so please excuse the appearance. I am in Florida for my birthday.
That's right, as you
So I
should
have
be.
no I have no professional clothes with me, okay? So
Hey,
this is what you get.
your professional stuff starts here, and then the
Right.
people get. You know what I'm saying? First of all, happy birthday! I am so
Thank
happy
you.
to have you on the show again. It's been a minute, man. It's almost
It
been like a year.
has. It has.
It's been a while, and
Mhm.
you've always been such a great spirit and a loving, gentle soul in my life. And I just want to tell you on air, so everybody knows how much I do care for you and love you, man, because you're amazing. The things that
Thank
you
you.
do, and what you're putting out to the community, and what we're gonna chat up about today. I appreciate you taking time on your birthday week. With your beautiful self
Anything
to
for you.
join.
Anything for you. Anything for you. I'm sorry. I look a mess. I had my makeup done. I
I
fell in the
think.
pool. I was out
Uh,
at the pool earlier this morning. I went under the water. I wasn't supposed to go under the water, but stuff happens. So this is it.
It's all good. I see you got the wristband on. What club is that from? I see that. Right, right, right.
No, it's for when you go out of the beach resort and
Uh-huh.
go to the
Oh, okay.
pool and go to the
Yeah.
beach. So you can get
Yes.
towels and you have to give them back.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. So,
Hmm.
how's the weather down there? And what part of Florida are you in?
Well, we're in Sunny Isles. It's like north of Miami, like North Miami. Um,
Okay.
the weather
Okay.
today is decent. Yesterday, it like rained and poured. We were on the yacht, so we had to sit out there for
Uh-huh.
like about 45 minutes to an hour. So we let the rain pass, and I was actually asleep because
Right. Right. Right.
me and drinking stuff doesn't mix with heat, so I had to sleep for about 2 hours.
Don't we all? The heat will make cowards of us all mixed with alcohol. I got to tell you that. Trust me, I've been
Yes,
there. I know
yes,
that.
yes. But
So,
otherwise, the weather is beautiful. We're having a good time. It's
good,
amazing.
good, good, good.
Mhm.
Please send some pictures. You always post the greatest vacation pictures, man. I love it. Um,
I'm
you
gonna
know.
post later. I'm gonna post later.
Okay, yeah, yeah, please do, because I'll be checking. I'll be like, okay, I wonder where, because I live vicariously through you. So I'm like, hey, I
Uh-huh.
wonder where I'm at today. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what I'm doing today. I knew I was on the
Okay.
yacht there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's
Hmm.
up. Okay, now, most important, your mom and your family. First, a happy Mother's Day to your mother.
Thank
I know
you.
she shoot to you. My God, we talk about that all the time. So how's your
Hmm.
mom?
My mom is great. She called and she was like, "Y'all going to what? Y'all doing what?" I was like, "Graham, it's okay." I was like, "Everything that we're doing, we're isolated. We're away from people. Mostly
Yeah,
outside stuff. So we did the
yeah,
yacht yesterday, and it was just us. The
yeah,
people that I travel with, and
yes.
that's all we're doing is we're just doing us, and we're letting people do them. Like earlier today, when I was going down on the elevator, some people jumped on the elevator with me. And I'm like,
Right.
it's COVID. You know what I'm saying? You're not
Yeah.
supposed to, get on the elevator unless you're traveling as a group. If your group is
Exactly.
on the elevator, you get on the elevator. So I was just like,
Exactly.
you know what, let me off. It's still COVID. You know what I'm saying? I'm not riding the elevator with y'all. So
Yeah.
I had
Good
to
for
wait
you.
for another elevator or whatever. But people are not understanding that it's still COVID and it's
Still
still
COVID.
contagious out there, and you can still get
That's
it.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people don't really get it about how we're supposed to still try to stay safe, do all the things that we're supposed to do. Now, I've had both my shots. I was
Mhm.
never one to be afraid of certain vaccines, and I know it's an individual choice of people. I ain't mad at nobody for getting it or not getting it. I know I wanted
Mhm.
to get it because I plan to travel this summer. If and I
Right.
want to be safe, but at the
Right.
same time, um, so many people are just so hard headed and so belligerent and so naive to the fact that they can't get sick. I know in the last month, just in our other network, IBM family, we've lost people do it. I've
Mhm.
lost people do it. I know you know people. So again, people, if you're out there, just be smart. We got to travel, we got to live. We get that, but just be smart, man. So Doc,
Mhm.
um, I want to get into a few things, but I'm gonna start at the top again. And thank you for mentioning your mom. I love her to death, even though I never met her, but I love her to death, man.
Thank
Um,
you.
I'm gonna start at the top before we get into your subjects about Mr. Scott and the verdict and all of that. The state of the union, in your professional opinion, right now, Biden. the first 120 days. Where do you think we are?
I think we're in a whole better position than we were prior to his pre-election. You know,
Okay.
with the other presidency and the other administration, we were not moving in the direction that we needed to move in. It was too much, name calling, too much cattiness, too much. The states are on their own. No, we
Yeah.
are the 50 contiguous United States. You know what I'm saying? It's not a
Amen.
individual state. So we function collectively as a group. So the response should have been collectively as a group. So and with that being said, Trump broke it down in the red state, blue states. It's not a red state or a blue state. We are one
No.
United States. And
Yep.
so when the response is to COVID and PPE and all of the gear and things like that, it was basically placed up on each individualized governor in their state, in which that's not supposed to be. We have
Right.
a federal government for a reason, and you reach out to your federal government for assistance, but they made it like a competition thing. And so certain places didn't receive supplies and certain places didn't receive support. So for example, for New York pays some of the highest taxes. What people fail to realize is the Democratic states, and if you want to break them down into red and blue, the blue states typically pay more than the red states. The red states are those poor states such as Kentucky and things like that or whatever. Tennessee is considered a red state. Some places in Tennessee is not poor, but
Yeah.
some places are poor. And these people typically vote against their own best interests. And with that
Yeah.
being said, they will vote to say that we're not providing assistance to blacks, we're not providing assistance to Latinos, we're not providing assistance to Asians, but at the same time you're in that number as well. And what people fail to realize is it's more white people on welfare and all of those social
Amen.
programs than it is black.
That's right.
So
That's
we have to
right.
take all of that into account and into consideration. But when you have an illegitimate president who doesn't understand, the government, and he tries to run it as, is as if he was running a business, we wouldn't have lost over 500,000 people if he would have done what he was supposed to do. If he would have
Amen.
shut the borders down when we first learned about COVID-19 back in October, and we started taking precautions then, those
Yep.
people would have been alive today.
That's
But
right. That's right.
because of his arrogance and his idiocy, we lost a lot of good people along the way.
Yep, that's right. I agree with everything you said. And again, we're hanging out with the amazing Dr. Tawana Anthony. Go to her page, check out her book. She's got several shows out, working on a beautiful nonprofit we're going to talk about in a minute. But I agree, because what bothers me is, again, after we peel back some of these layers, and I've seen
Mhm.
some crazy signs down here, they still got them up like, oh, you stole the country from us, this and that, F this, F that, right? And I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, y'all stole the country from Native Americans. Now you saying the vote and the country was stolen from you. Yet, like you just mentioned, love, they're still living here collecting the benefits that we all collectively pay for. That's what
Mhm.
pisses me off. Don't say and hide behind the cross, a burning cross, this and that, about your hatred, and then turn around and say, oh, well, but I'm religious, I'm spiritual, but then turn around and take my tax dollars to spend on the mask that you need to buy for yourself too, behind closed doors.
Well, that's
And
just the thing. That's just the thing. They're not wearing masks, and they feel like it's infringement upon their personal rights. First of all,
exactly.
it's about life and death. If you choose
Yeah.
to die, that's on you.
Yep.
But if I choose to live, that's on me. And if I want to
Yeah.
wear a mask, I will wear a mask, and I'm going to continue to wear a mask to try to,
Same.
maintain and to be safe. I mean, because like you said, they're out there not wearing masks. They're doing whatever. COVID is still present. COVID is still here. COVID is not going anywhere no time soon. No
Nope.
matter how many
Nope.
vaccines, no matter how many people take the
That's right.
vaccination, it's
Right.
not going anywhere no time soon, because you still have people who are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Some are
Yep.
possibly symptomatic, passing it on to other people, passing it on to kids, and they're giving it to people like the teachers and things like that or whatever, which is utterly ridiculous. But my thing is just own up and take responsibility. It has nothing to do with your individual rights. It's about people wanting to live and people wanting to be safe. If you don't want
That's
to wear
right.
a mask, don't go out in public, don't go to the grocery stores, don't get on a flight, don't do this, don't do that. That's on you.
Yep.
And if you go to an establishment that requires you to have a mask, then you have to accept the consequences if you're not following and abiding by those rules.
Yeah, yep.
That's just a bottom line. Period.
And see, and I agree with you 100% because when I see people down here or wherever, and I watch, here and there, and I'm looking at posts, and I see all these people gathered together, the first thing in my mind was, well, the numbers are rising. We have
Hmm.
another deadly strain in India. You know,
Hmm.
that's going to make its way over here. So people just got to understand we're at
Hmm.
the tip of the iceberg. And like you
Hmm.
said, this is the new norm. Have your mask,
Hmm.
have your sanitizer, everything you touch, this and that. Try to space out your shopping. I completely changed my whole shopping thing. I used to
Hmm.
go, 4 o'clock, 5 in the afternoon. Now I try to go first thing in the morning or the last one in there, just
Hmm.
so I could do my little part. And I think, like you
Hmm.
said, love, if everybody does their little part, we can function as one civilization in this country
Hmm.
because we are the United States. And I get so frustrated trying to understand the thought process behind some of the actions that these people are doing, man. So Biden in his first 100 days, you think that he's
Well,
actually
let
making
me address
strides?
what you just said really quick, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
fight him.
yeah.
So
Go for it.
within the thought process, these people look at us as inferior. They look at themselves as being the superior being, and so they don't want people who they feel is inferior to reap the benefits of, of the of what the government is giving out. They call it, like socialism. But if you look at the definition and understand the history of socialism, the United
Yep.
States has always done socialism. Even
Always
the
been.
New Deal, when they gave white people property to move out to the Great West, that was socialism. When they
Yep.
bought those farms and helped out the farmers, that was
Yep.
socialism. So
Socialism.
they only care about it when it applies to them. They don't care about it
Yep.
when it applies to everybody else. Then we're freeloaders, we're lazy, we're this, we're that, and things like that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if we're paying taxes and we don't have a problem with the US government assisting people, even let's take the students, for example, with the student loans. This is crippling us right now. You have so many young people out there who is bogged down in student loans and things like that. So my thing is, we can't bail out the students and the people who have student loans at this present point in time, but we can consistently bail out corporations with mismanagement, misappropriation of funds, stealing, and you
Amen.
still giving
Amen.
corporations millions
Yep.
millions of dollars, and they're giving it to their CEOs as bonuses. So you
Yep.
would rather do that instead of helping students get out of the debt. And what people fail to realize is these people lie to you. I was a student. They lie. They'll tell you anything to get you to get those loans and those credit cards. They lied about how much money we were gonna make, what was gonna happen after college, and things like that or whatever. So when you think about it, we're not talking about your 35-year-old mind or your 47-year-old mind. We're talking about your 17-year-old mind, your 18-year-old mind. So think about it. You're 18, 19, 20, 21, because those are the juvenile years. We're talking about that mind. So when we look at the whole college situation holistically, think about what these people have imparted on the minds of these babies. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Telling
That's
them to
right.
get these student loans, telling them to get these credit cards and things like that or whatever. So we have to reach back, and we have to, like Biden say, build back better. And we have to
Yep.
do this with the students, and we have to educate them more. They always talking about education, but why do you have a problem with it when it comes to like the student loans and
That's right.
things like that or whatever? So we have to educate our children on the consequences of the student loans, but at the same time, I feel like that they need to go ahead and cancel those student loans so we
Yeah,
can put this country back together.
I agree with you 100% because again, when you try to get your education and you pick out, whatever it is that you might want to do and contribute, and then you start off life, in debt. I know because my oldest daughter's a senior this year coming up, right? So
Hmm.
we're already stressed out about how we gonna do this, how we gonna do that, where can we get help, and we're looking into all of those things that's provided out there, right? And again, I have sometimes if I'm doing Lyft and I have like a young nursing, a doctor student, or even a young professional teacher, because you're in that profession, and then they say, "Wow, I'm starting out in debt already," and I just think it's so unfair. I just wish we could just and what Biden is trying to do. And I know he needs to work with Bernie on this because Bernie seems to be the head guy. I could be wrong, but he seems to be a genius at this student loan thing. He's been preaching this for 20, 30 years, you
No,
know, and
eh, I think he just jumped on the tail end of it.
he did. Who's the first person? Who is the person?
Elizabeth Warren has always
Warren.
been, saying about, the student loans and, stuff like that,
Okay.
helping the students, basically helping the middle class. Because even with getting the stimulus checks, people in
Yeah.
the middle class really didn't get the stimulus checks because
Yeah.
we either fell behind the ball when it came to, the amount of money that you were making, or we didn't qualify for other reasons. So my thing is, you're always hitting, but you never give anything back to us. You know what I'm saying? I didn't
Yeah.
receive stimulus checks because I just didn't qualify for it. But at the same time, could I have used it? Yes, I could have used it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you alienated me, and I'm a part of that middle class that you tap into all the time when it comes
Yeah.
to, like taking money and things like that, but you never give us anything back. But you're
Yeah.
consistently always helping the corporations. But when it comes back to helping, individualized people, individualized families, oh, you people are mostly against it. You know what I'm saying? So my thing
Yeah.
is,
Yep.
you just can't take without giving us some type of reprieve.
That's right. That's right. And when they do take like that, they forget we're all and you're in the field of psychology and you're a professional. And you tell me if you agree or not. We're all suffering from post traumatic stress disorder from COVID. Everybody on the planet is
Oh
suffering
yeah,
this
most
thing. And,
definitely.
right, right. We don't even
Most
know
definitely.
sometimes what we feel. And I'm trying to hit people like, listen, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up this year. This is
Mhm.
not the year for that. This is the year to come together. Because if we continue to beat ourselves up for the things that we've been through, we don't even understand this whole thing yet. We're still trying to process this,
It is. It is in its infancy, and like you said, it is a part of mental health. I mean, because the people who haven't contracted it, the people who have contracted it, it is a process, and you're right. We're still learning about it. We don't know everything about it, and so mentally, people they just got to understand it's okay to not be okay. It's okay
right,
to
right.
understand that
Thank you.
you're not okay, but at the
Yep.
same time, with understanding that you're not okay, you can talk to somebody, you know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to go to, like a psychologist or a social worker or a psychiatrist or anything like that. You can talk to your friends, but at some point you want to, speak to someone professionally. And it's okay to speak to someone professionally. That does not mean that you're crazy. That does not mean that you're off the deep end. That does not mean you're off the rock. I talk to people, you know what I'm saying? When I feel
Same.
overwhelmed, when I feel stressed, I call either my friends or I talk to my professor, Dr. Brown. She's a psychologist or whatever. So we engage in those conversations to I guess get validity about what we're experiencing and what we're going through. And it's okay to
Exactly.
do that. It's okay
Yep.
to express your emotions. It's okay to say I'm angry. It's okay to say I'm upset. It's okay to say I'm hurt. And we have to realize that it's nothing wrong with it, and we have to just start putting it out there. And sometimes we have to be vulnerable in the terms of we have to show our naked self, not meaning we're literally showing our naked self, but we're showing our soul. And we have to be okay with that, and we have to sometimes allow people to help us. You know what I'm saying? We can't
Yes.
just always be on the defense and always be on the
Yeah. Yeah.
negative side. So yeah, they have to understand it's okay to not be okay.
That's right. And for those of you that are just tuning in, here we are hanging out with the amazing Dr. Tawana Anthony, good friend of mine. She's like my
Um,
sister. I ride or die with her. Please be interactive on the chat. And Doc, tell the people out in the audience a little bit about your background for those that don't know what you do and who you are.
Well, I'm an educator, and I also work in mental health, and I got like various degrees and certifications and things like that. You can check out my Facebook and my other handles. They're streaming across the bottom of the programming here. So and I also work with kids across the board, and I also
My
work
heart.
with adults and things like that. So in my spare time when I have some, I try to write. So I have At the Gator Park that's already published. It's out, and I have two
Amen.
books that's
Yep.
about to come out. The Enchanted Columns and Roscoe and the Wild Cactus, Kevin Yang. Those two books are about to come out, and my memoir should be coming out later this year. So make sure you follow me on any one of these so you can keep up with the updates of the books and the publishing and drop dates.
Amen. Amen. You know, when I first met you, it was by chance through another associate, right? And I
Mhm.
remember, the second time I was on your show, I drove up to DC, when you were doing your show there, man.
Mhm.
And I just couldn't believe your spirit, how wonderful you were. I didn't have to worry about anything. You fed me, made sure I had a place to stay and all of that. So I just want you guys out there to know this woman here, her heart, pure as gold, taking care of the world, healing. So you guys go out and support everything she does. I know I do. She's a regular on my show. Plus, she has her own shows, podcasts. So people like you, Doc, are what's keeping the world together at a most critical time. And I just want to thank you for that. You need all the praise and love you get. And it's your birthday, so
It's my
you're joining me on your
birthday.
birthday. This is the best present I can get for your birthday.
It is my birthday. It is.
And a
It
side
is.
note, I want my audience to know this woman sent me a box of Cajun spices and fish fry stuff, man, and her book. So off the record, the things that she does for people, you guys don't even know, man. You know what I'm saying? You just don't even know the depths of her goodness. So, let's get
Thank
into this
you.
this guy, Tim Scott, because I know that hits in your craw. So I'm gonna let you go with our brother from South Carolina, Tim Scott.
So I
Not,
call him Token Tim, So
yeah,
he's that token Negro, he's that token black folk, he's that one that, if Harriet Tubman was doing the Underground Railroad, she would have to
yeah,
kill him because he would have ran back, Massa, Massa.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
where they're
He telling,
going, Massa. They're going up
yeah,
north, Massa. They're going to Canada, Massa. So we would have to take him out so he wouldn't run
yeah,
his mouth. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
He's telling,
So
he's telling.
he's that token one, He actually spoke about a lot of things after Biden did his 100-day address and things like that. And a lot of the stuff that he spoke about was totally inaccurate. Let's take school for example. Let's
Right,
take school for example. So, he's saying that, the children are not learning online, that the teachers are not teaching, we're not working. Token Tim, we're working. The students are learning online. Actually, some of the students who were struggling in school are flourishing online. They're participating, they're talking, they're turning in assignments, they're doing all those things. And some of these kids had problems participating in in-person class. So it gives them a sense of security. They're in a room by themselves. They're not in a space where they feel like I have to watch what I say. They're in the comfort of their own home. They're in their safe space. So these kids are thriving. So
amen.
for him to stand up there and lie and say that the teachers are not working, that's inaccurate. Who do you think is teaching your child? Who do you think is teaching your colleagues' children? The teachers. The only thing that we ask parents to do, make sure your child is in class. Make sure your child is logged on to that Chromebook or that MacBook, whatever. Make sure your child does that. That's the only thing that we ask your parents to do. And if they're with the little ones, yes, it does take a little more with the little ones because, hey, some of these babies have never set foot inside of a school. So they don't understand the processes of what it takes to, like log in and be in a cohesive environment where, we're experiencing other people. They've never experienced that. So we can't expect them to know it all in one day. So when we work with those children, we do ask the parents to sit with their child until your child learns how to follow rules that are pertinent to the classroom setting. Logging into a Chromebook, some of these kids have never logged in. Some of these
Yeah,
kids have
yeah,
never utilized technology. So yes, in those capacities we do ask the parents to sit with their children. So
yeah,
he was basically just popping off with a lot of hot stuff about teachers not working, teachers not teaching. The teachers are extended. They have worked until they can't work anymore. A lot of the
right.
teachers are experiencing stress. A lot of the teachers are experiencing different pressures. And like I tell people all the time, especially educators, Don't let these people pressure you and bully you into thinking that your family is not worthy. Don't let them pressure you and bullying you to make them think that you're not worthy. You know what I'm saying? Because if you drop dead today, guess what? They're gonna have somebody in your place tomorrow. So at the end of the day, if you don't take care of you, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be,
That's
in a
right.
position or in a mindset to even handle or deal with, another person's child. And that's what they fail to realize. They feel that, the educators are, supposed to take the brunt of, this vaccine, because guess what? It's not my problem that you don't want to deal with your child. At the end of the
Right.
day, I have to take care of me. So I
That's
don't
right.
allow people to put their burdens on me and make me feel like, I can't take care of myself, because, in some of these groups that I'm in, teachers are like, they make some administrators make them feel like, when they take off to go to the doctor, they make them feel so bad, like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a problem and things like that. And I tell people all the time, I'm going to take care of me, regardless of you like it or not. I come first, because if I'm not in a position where, I can work with your child, then, we're still a lost situation. You know what I'm saying? So they got to stop putting that pressure on educators, saying that, making them feel guilty for doing things for them and their families,
Yep.
which is
Yep. Yep.
ridiculous. And
It is.
um, he also, made some other, statements about, President Trump, basically helping out the American people. President Trump didn't do anything to help out the American people.
And he
All
said
he
there
did
was no
was
racism.
Right. I haven't got to that part yet. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
all he did was, cause a lot of mayhem and a lot of havoc. Oh, my plan is coming. Baby, you were in office 4 years and we still haven't received that plan. So you had so much hate against President Obama that you wanted to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. You just didn't want people to have health care. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because what you came with was nothing. You brought nothing to the table, sir. Nothing to the table. And the Republicans, what just puzzles me and baffles me is, why did they allow this man to become the head of the Republican Party? I mean, Trump made them his bitches. You know what I'm saying? That's all it
Yeah. He
was.
did.
He bitched the hell out of them. He made
Yep.
them cower to him. And so now y'all Trump bitches. And that's exactly what you are, because you did
Yep.
not stand up to this man. You did not tell him no. You allowed him knowingly to break the law, and you supported it. And so you think that we're supposed to sit by and allow this to happen. That's why we got the insurrectionists. That's why we had all of that stuff, because y'all wanted them to try to throw over the government. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So
That's right.
you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. You have
Yep.
to, take a side. And the Republicans didn't take a side. They allowed Trump to do everything that he's doing now. And they're still allowing it. And they're still
That's right.
supporting it.
That's right.
And things like that. And Tim Scott, token Tim, you know what I'm saying? He came from South Carolina, so I understand he don't know no better. So he made the statement that America is not a racist country. America was built off of racism. You know what I'm saying? When they came over here and destroyed the Native Americans and things like that, you didn't find the country. You
That's
came to
right.
explore a country. It was never lost. So you can't
Right.
find something that was never lost. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
And one of those things is, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving was predicated upon a massacre. You massacred, you killed, and you murdered those Native Americans. That's why they sat and ate with you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like something that was willing. You killed them. You destroyed their homes. You destroyed it. You destroyed everything that they knew or whatever. And then you want to say, you want to take credit for, oh, we colonized. We colonized. We're colonizers. You know what I'm saying? No, what you did
Yep.
was you brought disease to these people. You killed
Yep.
half of them off with diseases. The other half you shot and you killed with machetes and things like that. And then the other ones that didn't want to die, they sat and ate with you. Yeah, so quite naturally the appearance is going to be, we're in harmony, we're in peace. But no, Thanksgiving is based upon a massacre. And so I don't
Yeah. It
celebrate.
is. Yeah. I don't blame you. And also poison in the water. And like
Yeah,
you mentioned, the whole thing about, well, we found you and now you're savages and we're gonna make you Christian bullshit, right? Because these people were perfectly living in harmony more so than any other people on the planet.
of course.
Indigenous people have always lived in harmony. But go, I
Hmm.
want to go back to something that you just to ask you a quick question. When you
Hmm.
mentioned educators, are there support groups for educators and people that need that, or is it an individual thing? Like, can you dial up a number and say, hey, I'm having a really hard time myself? not individually, but do schools and school unions put this stuff into place for educators?
Well, it's there. It's employee assistance program, the
Okay,
EAP.
okay,
So it's
okay.
always there.
Good, good, good.
Now are they? I'm quite sure that they are addressing the COVID issues and like the deaths surrounding the COVID issues and things like that because
Yeah, yeah. I
we're
was
still
curious.
getting, and I'm just speaking collectively, we're still getting infected with COVID. You know what I'm saying? The numbers are rising in the schools. So it's not like it's going to die down because, you have children who are bringing COVID. You have other outside people who are bringing COVID. You have, asymptomatic people who are bringing COVID. For example, a friend of mine works at a middle school and she has 5 people in her classroom and one of the persons tested positive for COVID. 5 adults.
Right,
It's not even counting the children that are supposed to be in there, but 5 adults.
right,
So,
right.
the thing about it, COVID is still going to exist because we're still passing it from person to person. And it's not like, you got a monitor on your body to say, hey, this person is COVID positive, don't go near this person. It's not like you can say that. If you don't take the word and the honesty of, people or whatever, how can you know? You can't know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's
So,
right. That's
with
right.
that being
That's right.
said, we're not even at full capacity. Some schools are not at full capacity and the COVID numbers are still rising. So, you have to take all of that into consideration. And they're not allowing some people to work from home. So it's just a lot, and people feel like educators are supposed to take up on everything, but they never consider the fact of what educators go through behind the scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
People
yeah,
make
yeah,
things happen, such as grading papers, writing letters of recommendations, running clubs, doing all this stuff. And educators got to give up their own personal time with their families. I don't do it anymore. I'm letting them young folks do it. Y'all can have it. I'm working to the
yeah,
clock. If my time is
yeah.
7:15 to 3, I'm out. I'm not doing it anymore. It's too much.
I
I
don't
did this
blame you.
back in my
I don't
younger
blame
days.
you.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I'm
I,
not
I
doing
don't
it
blame
anymore.
you. You can only give what you got to give. Now, going
Mm-hmm.
back, I just wanted to ask that for anybody that's out there watching, please reach out to somebody. Obviously, we all are suffering from traumatic stress disorder from this whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. So I just wanted to mention that. And thank you. We're hanging out with the beautiful Dr. Tawana Anthony. She's in Florida. I'm in
Hi.
North Carolina. And we're just chilling, funk from the front seat, not on the grind TV. Liz Cheney, to tie in, the way they're attacking her, fair or
Of course,
foul?
they're going to attack her because like I said, it's not the Republican Party anymore. It's the Trump Party. So they don't want her saying anything negative about him. You know what I'm saying? Which I mean, she doesn't have to say anything negative. We already know. We know
We
that he's a
know.
complete idiot. We know that he bitched them and that they're going to do everything that he says or whatever. So she's going against the grain. So they have a problem with it. So that's all they are, Trump bitches. You know what I'm saying? And excuse my language. You might not
Hey,
like
that's
it, but
what it
that's
is.
exactly what it is.
What it
He
is,
worked
what it
them.
is. This is real. We
It's
keep it
worked
real.
them.
That's right. We
Yeah.
keep it real and raw. And again, with all of this happening in the country, and I was just telling Mark, and thank you, Mark, for your great production today. I was just telling Mark before we came on air that you would think people would understand COVID was supposed to show us some stuff, and it did. Most of us that it showed, we got it. We figured it out. Like, hey, let's be kinder, be gentle, try to love more. And then it's almost like I told Mark, well, people are just back in their corners now, and everybody's just doing their own hatred thing, and we're all divided. Just like what happened after 9/11. For the first year, everybody's, hey, gun ho, we're united. After that, little by little, everybody went, like you said at the beginning of the show, everybody went to their corner, everybody went to their state and said, okay, my state does this. I hate your state because your state does that. Yada, yada, yada. When we're all
Mhm.
supposed to be one. And that's the thing I was telling Mark about this hate thing, man. That bothers me more than anything, doctor, because when we hate on another person, we're taking that energy that we're supposed to use that God gave us for ourselves and hating on somebody else. And it just doesn't make any sense. Now,
Well, I mean, that's taught hate. You know what I'm saying? Children are not born evil. Children are not
exactly.
born to hate. Those are learned behaviors. It's
That's
called the
right.
learned behavior. So what you see inside of your home or what you see inside of your community or what you see inside of your immediate, Malu environment or whatever, that's what you tend to replicate. That's what you tend to do. So
Yep.
that particular hatred was taught, because you can put two little black kids, two little white kids, two little Asian kids, two little Hispanic kids, two little purple kids, polka dotted kids, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can put them all in a sandbox. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to
Yep.
play with each other, and
Play
they're
with
going
each
to love
other.
upon each other. They're going to hug upon each other. But see, the hatred becomes a problem when the parents get involved. Oh, you can't play with little Tawana because Tawana is black. You can't
Yeah.
play with little John because John is Asian. You can't play with little Hector because Hector is Hispanic. So you can't play with those people because one is black, one is Asian, and one is Hispanic. So when those, qualities and traits are pointed out, that's when the kids start emulating and picking up on it and saying, "My mommy said I can't play with you because you're black," or "My mommy
Yeah.
said I can't play with you because you're a nigger." So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the way it
Yeah.
goes. Those are learned behaviors. That's a
That's
taught
right.
trait. So that
Yeah.
was taught from hatred way back in the day or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have this unwritten notion that black people want to enslave them. We don't want to enslave you. We want you to
No.
treat us the way we treat you. We
That's
want to
all.
be, treated with respect. We want to be treated, with all of that. Because if we really wanted to do you something, it would have already been done, and it is nothing that you can do. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
nobody is out to, hate on you. Nobody is out to bring physical harm to you. We just want to be treated with respect, and that's something that you don't give us, is that respect
Yeah.
and that human decency and that human treatment. You
That's
know,
right. That's
and that's
right.
all we ask for.
Which leads us into the verdict. Before we get into the verdict on the other side, I'm gonna run my P Funk commercial. We're hanging out with Dr. Tawana Anthony. Please stay with us, Doc. It's just gonna take about 30 seconds. I love
That's
you.
what's up.
And I'm loving this information because people need to hear it. So, Mark, if you got that queued up for me, man, throw that out there so we can go ahead and check out some of our sponsors and people that help us out and that support the show. HJ Entertainment, K and Jams Entertainment, Keith and Brenda, P Funk Radio. I love you guys, Gabe, Robin, and Larry, of course, P Funk, Philly Phil, Funk Buzz, Tony Cam. Thanks for the shirt. I'm still waiting on it, brother. Triple, triple, triple X large. Miss Pat, Aquarius Rising, Curtis Wilcox. Thank you for always doing this great artwork. You guys are amazing out there. But and Mark's going to cue this
Hey,
in a
this is
second.
Keith
But
Jackson with P Funk
I
Radio,
think that
inviting you to check out my brother Zach Robinson with Funk from the Front Seat. Saturdays, 12 noon on the East Coast and 9 a.m. on the West Coast. It all happens on 9 on the Grind TV and also on YouTube. Great guest, great conversation each and every Saturday. That's Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson on 9 on the Grind TV and YouTube. Check him out.
that was half of it anyway. That's Keith Jackson, my friend from P Funk Radio. He sponsors the show. He helps, take care of some of the economic woes. But we on the other side right now with Dr. Tawana Anthony. And everybody that's watching, know that she's totally amazing. Please follow her. She's doing it in a big way, helping the black community, activism, teaching, educating, and giving us that spiritual healing thing. We're going to jump into the verdict for a minute because a lot of people slept and celebrated. I, for one, did not celebrate. I don't think it's a celebration. So tell me your opinion about the verdict as in its own entity.
Well, I think they did good with the verdict. We kind of, so it was kind of half and half for me, but when they gave out the money, I didn't think that they were going to convict, because typically when they pay out, they don't convict. So I'm happy that we got a conviction. Now, with that being said, one of the jurors they're saying wore "Get your knee off our neck" shirt and they participated in the Million Man March, which I don't. For me, it's not a problem. For them, it's a problem. So his attorney is trying to get a new trial. But my thing is, these white folks run around here all the time talking about how they hate black people and how they hate niggers and how they hate this and how they hate that. So it's not a
Yep.
problem for them to convict us. But because he had this on and he attended the Million Man March, it's a problem for us to convict him like that. You know what I'm saying? The writing
Yeah.
was already on the wall. The writing, I mean, in terms of, we seeing this man die in real time. We saw this man die on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Who does that? We've been talking about the police brutality, the difference in treatment. We've been talking about this for years. The only thing that has changed is it has evolved with technology. Nothing has
Yeah.
changed. Just the
Yeah.
technology and the way we receive the information that has changed, and how fast
Yeah.
we receive the
Exactly.
information. And
Exactly.
I think they
Exactly.
did. Um, I think they did make an example out of him or whatever. And my thing is, this, if they would have convicted the first person who did this, we wouldn't be in this situation. We wouldn't have all these
That's right.
murders and things like that. And if they would have made an example out of those people, because I get tired of white people in general, not all of them, saying, "Oh, you just need to comply. You just need to do what the cop says." Philando Castile did comply. He did do what the cop said. He's dead. So my thing is, don't tell me to comply. You can't tell me to comply when the essence of my blackness is the problem. The essence of my blackness has been weaponized and turned into a weapon. So I'm gonna forever be a threat. You know what I'm saying? And my thing
Yeah.
is, if you're scared to be around black people, you're scared to work around black people, don't get a job that you have to participate into the community with black people. Don't become a police officer if you feel like you're scared. Now, which is a BS lie, because you're not scared, because you disarmed Dylan Roof, who had an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, when he shot
Exactly.
the people in the church, and you took him to Burger King. You disarmed the person who blew up the people in the marathon and things like that. You got him alive. You disarmed the other young man who was in Florida, who killed up all those children at Marjorie Stoneman High School. So you're telling a hot lie about you're afraid of black people, knowing that they have nothing in their hands, knowing that you want to kill them, because that I just feel like they all want to kill a black person. That's just the bottom line. And that's just my feeling. And it's
Hunting.
been
Yeah. It's
like
like
that.
hunting.
God put
Yeah.
that in my spirit. And I know I'm telling the truth. They all want to murder a black person.
Yeah.
For example, the lady who said, "Oh, I thought it was my gun. I mean, I thought it was my taser or whatever."
Taser
No,
lady.
you know the difference between a gun and a taser. You knew exactly what you were pulling out. You wanted to shoot to kill. You know what I'm saying? Even with the young lady who was waving a knife. So what? She was waving a knife. You could have shot her in her dang on leg. You could have
That's
shot
what I
her in
said.
her arm. You know what I'm saying? To demobilize her. But you kill her. So, because she was waving a knife,
Yeah. Yeah.
she has to be dead now. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, with these white people, you you victimize the victim. You know what I'm saying? You justify those people killing, for example, George Floyd. Just because he did drugs, just because he had a run-in with the law once or twice, so it's okay for him to be killed? No, it's not okay. You don't justify anything like that. You should not take a person's life because of their past. And y'all quick to say,
Yeah.
"Oh, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Christ." You know what I'm saying? But you were the same people who used the Bible against, slaves or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I can go on and on and on, but this is your show. I'm not gonna do it. But it's just the principle behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for Tim
Totally.
Scott, to get up there and make a mockery out of like black people, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Based off of the things he said, he want to fit in so dang on bad. And if you see the video where he tried to reach out and shake Trump's hand, Trump totally ignored him. But
Yeah.
you want to defend this man, token Tim?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
use you for
Yeah.
your words and the color of your skin.
That's
You
right.
can kick
That's right.
rocks with
That's right.
that. You know what I'm saying? He can
Yep.
kick
Yep.
rocks with it, because it's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. Token
It
Tim.
is. And when you said compliance, it reminded me of the lady that was sleeping in her apartment when they broke in on the no knock warrant and killed her.
Yeah,
Now I don't
Breonna
know how much
Taylor.
more. I don't right, Miss Breonna Taylor. I don't know how much more Breonna Taylor could have been compliant if she's sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the essence of compliancy.
So the
And
thing
just
was that was trending on Facebook was she shouldn't have never dated a drug dealer. I don't care if he was a drug dealer, a cat dealer, dealing
right,
dogs, dealing horses. I don't care. She still does not deserve to die. Murder should not have
right.
been her final sentence. And that's just
Yep,
the
that's
bottom
right.
line to it.
And
Period.
we dealing with that in Elizabeth City right over here because
Mhm.
my theory is the cops they shut this guy up because he was getting ready to tell who the dirty cops were because this guy apparently was dealing drugs, whatever. He's going away now. He's no longer a threat to you directly because if he's in his car, then he gets shot in the back of the neck. Now I don't
Mhm.
condone his whatever he's doing, drugs, this and that. That's not my burden to bear. But I do know if he's leaving the scene, he is no longer a threat. You shot the car up hoping that you was going to hit him. Otherwise, you wouldn't have shot the car. And
Oh, of
again,
course.
there are some good white people of all colors and races doing things to try to help the
And
situation.
when we talk about white people, we're using it holistically because you have to
Yes,
use the
yes,
term in the correct sense or whatever. We're
exactly.
not saying like y'all blame us, because when one person does something, you blame the whole black community. But in this
Yeah.
capacity, we're not blaming the whole white community. We're
Thank
talking
you.
about
Yeah.
the people who are involved at this particular moment.
Exactly, exactly. And that's one thing I told white people. I was like, listen, if you in the fight, and I said this on my show 2 weeks ago. I said we need you all the way in the fight. Now's not the time for you to pick and choose. If you down for the cause, be all the way down. Just don't be down when it's a major case. You got to be down in the community about these smaller things because that's when the community really needs you. Because believe it or not, sooner or later somebody's going to say, hey, you know what? That blonde haired, blue eyed person, we got to start killing them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Hitler did. It was like, I don't care if you white, you ain't Aryan white. So now I'm gonna start, gassing you if you're Jewish and this and that. And that's how hate and evil perpetrates. It never stops. It's a growing thing. It will get you. It will get you. It will get you if you allow it to just continue. So we need everybody to heed what Dr. Anthony is saying and really get in this fight if we're going to get into it, because we have to at least try to make the future better for the children. I think about my daughters. I think about, your nieces and nephews and Mark's nieces and nephews. And I'm like, damn, we are completely effing up the country for these people. They got to go out into the world now, into a country that is so bizarre, and they're born into it. And like you mentioned earlier, I wonder what the kids that were supposed to be in first grade and kindergarten, how they're going to have to adjust because they was already supposed to be there. Stuff like that bothers me. And I just want everybody to understand peace, love, and harmony. We're going to have to come to that together. And as black people, we got to stop beating ourselves up and also stop doing things to our own community. And you gangbangers and you drug dealers, y'all know what I'm talking about, because doggone well, some of the things you're doing, you were not taught that. You're just becoming an anarchist, thinking you can fight the system, but you can't, because the system is not broken. It's working exactly like they wanted to. So stop being a part of that problem and be the solution. That's my thing. I'm gonna bring my man, Mr. Mark Leon, because he always scratches at the glass. He has a question for you. We got about 10
Yes.
minutes left. Dr. Tawana Anthony, I love you. You're amazing. We're going to get into your book and talk about your nonprofit in a second after Mark jumps on and off with his question. So, Mark, if you're back there, I know you won't miss an opportunity to see this beautiful woman, and I
Hello,
will
how are
grant you that.
you?
Hello, how you doing? I definitely had to come in here and say hello to
I'm
you. You're
good.
doing
Yes.
wonderful as always. I did have a question because I was watching your show recently, and you actually alluded to it when you were talking about Token Tim. And I know that one of the other things he talked about was our HBCUs and how supposedly that person that just left the White House and everything, and I try not to say his name, how he had done this great job of supporting our HBCUs. And I also know that one of our HBCUs had a very racist incident recently, and you had talked about that on your show, where the Morehouse debate team had walked out because of the racism that was going on. So I'd love to hear your comment both about the Morehouse team walking off and also about supposedly that past person just loved the HBCUs, even though we know that that was a total lie by Token Tim. But I'd love to hear your
Yeah.
explanation about that.
So I'll start with the latter first. He doesn't love HBCUs. The bill was already put into place prior to him even coming into office. It started with President Obama. He just signed off on it because the basically the logistics of it wasn't done prior to President Obama leaving office. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that, they tried to hype it to make it seem like, he was supporting, like black people, but your past says that you don't support black people. When the Department of Justice, had lawsuits against you because you didn't want black people living in your apartments and things like that or whatever. So we already know what type of person you are. You can lie and say and do whatever, but your past has shown that you are extremely racist and you don't like black people. And I mean, even Tim Scott, he tried to shake his hand. What did he do? He turned his head and went the other way. So, you standing up there looking like the jackass that you are, You know what I'm saying? And you're still supporting this man. So, for Token Tim, it says a lot about you and your character, how you try to paint your narrative in a way that says that this man is okay and that this man is right. No, this man is not okay and he's not right. What it does is it just shows that you the dumbass that's perpetuating his fraud and his lie. You know what I'm saying? So it's just ridiculous. Excuse my language or whatever for cursing, but that's just what it is. And as far as Morehouse is concerned, they did the right thing. And University of Hawaii, really, you were named after a black woman. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason you look the way that you do is because the United States government brought in white people to try to lighten the islands, just like they did in Turks and Caicos and many of the other Caribbean islands. They brought white people in to, like whiten and lighten the islands. That's what they did. And they got rid of, like blacks and, things like that or whatever. But for the University of Hawaii, who is in the United States, to do some stuff like that, really, University of Hawaii, shame on you. Morehouse and any other the other prestigious universities, they should never participate in another debate with the University of Hawaii. They need to send them a strong message. Don't invite them, don't let them register, don't do anything. And as far as the people who are in the top positions who were supposed to be monitoring this, they need to be fired. They need to be gone because you allowed it to happen. Because if you would have shut it down when it started, when they asked you to, we wouldn't be in this situation. So they need to go. So apparently you cannot think objectively. You cannot perform objectively. So you have a subjective mindset and you only see it through your eyes and your way. So guess what? You need to be on the unemployment line, seeing it through your eyes and your way.
For our audience, Dr. Anthony, please tell us what happened because some of us don't know.
So Morehouse was participating in a debate. So, they have all these debates and, Morehouse has won a lot of debates against Harvard, Princeton and, all of these other Ivy League schools. So they were participating in a debate with the University of Hawaii. So the students over there were making racial slurs and racial comments and things like that towards the Morehouse College participants. And so they asked for that to be addressed. It was never addressed and it never stopped. And so Vanderbilt, Morehouse, Spelman, and, a whole host of other colleges just pulled out of the debate. So my thing is, at the end of the day, they should not allow the University of Hawaii to participate at this present point in time. Maybe some years down the road, they could get their privileges of that, but they need to have a strong message sent. And those people that were supervising and were supposed to protect these young people to make them feel as if they're in a safe space, they need to be fired. They should be gone.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for addressing that. A lot of us didn't know. Mark had brought that to my attention, and I definitely wanted you to speak on that today. Mark, you got anything for Doctor before I get back with this interview and wrap this up?
No, I'm gonna let you wrap it back up and everything. I was just,
Thank you,
as
Mark.
I'm a big fan of sports as well. I was just gonna see Dr. Anthony's because I know Louisiana is also a big state in terms of horse racing and things of that nature. So I want to know your thoughts about the Kentucky Derby, where we did have that jockey that was the first African American jockey in a number of years participating, and definitely it seems like we're trying to get into other sports that we had been out of for a number of years because the first jockeys were actually African American, but
I
now
was
it
about to
seems like
say, yeah, I was about to say, typically the first participants are African American and things like that or whatever. And big ups to him. When we start doing things and it takes upon a different life, then they want to take it over and things like that or whatever. So that's exactly what happened. And even being a caddy, black people were caddies and things like that. But when the black people were doing it, they made it seem like it was such a menial, poor job. And then when the
Yeah.
white men started doing it, oh, we need to boost their salaries and we need to make it prestigious and we need to do this. So we have always been at the helm. We have never just been treated like that. And we have always been treated in such a poor light, and never given the credit for what we've actually brought to the table. So it's not surprising that, many of, for the people out there, it's not surprising that many of the, first starters were African American and things like that, and people of color. Like I said, they just didn't get the notoriety as the people are now.
That's
yep.
right. And you brought up a very cool thing when you mentioned golf because Will Smith did a movie a long time ago called Bag of Vance. And if you guys ever get
Mhm.
a chance out there in the audience, you want to see exactly what Dr. Anthony's talking about. He was the caddy and he was actually better than the golfer. But the golfer was relying on his information and his keen eye. And the movie is called Bag of Vance, and Will Smith started it early in his career. Great movie, and it was a true story. So, Doc, man, thank you so much, Doctor. I want to ask you about beauty and brains. Tell us a little bit about, because I saw that beautiful shirt. I promote that. I love that shot. That's like crazy hot. That's on fire. So I love that shot. Let me tell you, it's on fire. So tell us about beauty and brains and what you're doing with that organization.
So Beauty and Brains is my nonprofit that I'm trying to, get up off the ground. So if you guys want to donate, I'll send the information over to Zach so you can have it. So we basically help young women, girls, and young boys and young men to basically become better them. I have the Pink Back Project, the Blue Black Project is where we give like toiletries and things like that to young people that are basically in need. So you can check out my website at Beauty and Brains pgs.com, and you can I don't have a Cash App or a PayPal for it yet. It's not set up. So when I do it, I'll send you guys the information so you can post it and things like that. And of course, I can always come back on whenever Zach
Of
allows
course.
me to.
Hey, yo, you welcome. You're in my regular rotation. It's just you've been so busy, but trust me. And I knew,
Yes,
birthday. We had planned this one for your birthday, so
we
I'll
did.
send you
We
more
did.
dates, and we're going to keep knocking this thing out because in a way, because I did your very first show up in DC, it kind of
Hmm.
inspired me a little bit when COVID hit. None of us knew this was going to happen. So in a way, you're partially responsible for me having the courage to even put this out here like this. So I'm grateful. And you know what? I was saving this to the end. But for my audience and for everybody that's ever watched this show, today is the 1 year anniversary. And I didn't even tell you this. I was saving a surprise for you. So this is our 1 year anniversary. You're
Our
doing the
1 year
1 year
anniversary.
anniversary of this show. It was
Good.
last May 9th is when I started this thing. And here
Good.
we are
Good.
52 weeks later, and we still cranking it. So yes,
We're
I'm very
cranking.
happy. I saved that little tidbit for my audience. I saved it for you. Mark was the only one that realized that. And
Okay. Okay.
today is special. So you, your birthday, you who you are, and you on the anniversary show doesn't get much better. Who's got it better than me? You know what I'm saying? I'm
Doesn't
very,
get much
very.
better.
How could
Well,
it?
thank you
You
for
know.
having me, and thank your audience for listening to me and listening to my thoughts and my rants and my crazy antics. Because sometimes I can get very passionate with my words, and I can go there. I try to keep that crazy person contained, but sometimes she comes out. So just thank you guys for like putting up with me and listening to my thoughts and things.
I love it all because you know what? That creative person is what makes the world go round. Without the Dr. Anthony's of the world doing what you do out here, you're part of the solution, most definitely.
Mhm.
I know it's a birthday, and please go down to the beach when you do. Cuervo Gold and Coronas for me. That's my thing.
I
I
can't
told you I
really
don't drink
drink
and
like that.
drive.
I tried it yesterday and I
I
was like
know.
dying. I had to go down I missed like 2 hours on the yacht because I was
I know.
asleep. I can't really do it. It just doesn't mesh well with me.
Well, tell one of your friends to have a shot of Quavo Gold and
I
Coronas for me
will.
because
I
I
will.
can't
I
be there.
will.
And again, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. Thank you for joining the
Thank
show. For
you.
everybody watching, you guys can go back and watch it. It's on YouTube. It's stored up. And Dr. Anthony, please tell us really quick before you go your last thoughts and parting thoughts to the world that's watching right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it at mental health. Like I said, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel crazy sometimes. It's okay to feel angry sometimes. It's when we act upon those thoughts is when it becomes a problem. So if you have someone out there that you can talk to, that you can communicate with, I suggest that you go ahead and communicate with that person. And even if you don't have someone, I'm on Facebook. You can hit me up. You can DM me. I'm always up throughout the night. I'm always responding. I'm always talking to people. So, I mean, even if you want to talk to me, you can contact me and you can talk to me. Talk to someone and let them know that you're not okay and things like that. Mental health is, it's not an embarrassment. It's not to make you feel as if, you're out there alone. Everyone has mental health problems. Even I have mental health problems sometimes. And I communicate with people, that I'm close to. So it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to, like I said, feel angry, be mad, but it's when we start to act upon those thoughts and those feelings that becomes a problem. So just reach out to someone if you're having a bad day, if you want to talk, if you want to just discuss things, just talk to someone. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just that
You know
simple.
what? You're beautiful. And on that, I'm gonna let you get out of here because I know you got some sand to lay back up in and
Going
get that
back to the beach.
sand. You have fun, sweetheart. I
All right,
love you. I
thank
watch your
you.
shows, and I'll be in touch with you soon. Okay.
Yes, thank you so
All
much.
right,
I'll
you.
talk to you later. All right.
I love. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yo, Mark, jump back on, man, so we can wrap this up, brother, because I got to ask you things. Mr. Mark Lee, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Tawana Anthony is so cool. I love her to death, man. She just totally crushes it every single time, which is why she's a regular on the show, man. And getting back to, her thoughts, she is in the mental health field. She is in the
Mhm.
education field. She is an author. She is, writing her memoirs, and she does have a well-rounded career, as far as helping people, man.
Yes.
And if you look at just her relationship with the two of us and what we spread and learned from her, and she sent you the same thing she sent me, the children's book and,
Right.
the spices, this and that. I mean, damn, that's what the world is about, loving people. She truly puts that love out there, man. So happy birthday and kudos to her, man. I love her to death, and she'll be back, folks. For you guys watching, make sure you continue to support the show. I appreciate everything you guys do out there. We try to spread peace, love, and harmony. We try to hit important topics and subjects. We try to have interesting, educated, high-level spiritual light workers on the show. We got Chrissy Key Rollins coming up in a few weeks. I think that's next week, right? And then we got, Linda Shine is going to be back. And, we got other people from the whole funk community that's down with
Oh, yeah.
us, that's going to be doing some stuff with us. Curtis Wilcox, the artist, and Stozo, they're going to be with us soon. We're going to have Lisa Graham, one of our favorites from the West Coast,
Oh, yeah.
doing her thing out there in Yakima County. Love you. So we got a lot of stuff coming up.
Oh,
But
yeah. You
my
good.
audience today, I wanted to mention to you, thank you for the best 52-week Saturday mornings I could have, because a lot of people don't realize how fast a year went.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, and I'm telling you, we've been doing this a year, baby. So Mark, this is not alcohol. Kudos to you. Here's cheers to you. You produced and directed this show for the first 52 weeks. I hope we have another great 52 weeks. Today is our anniversary show, so you guys can please stay active on the chat. I know a lot of you guys might be busy. It's Saturday. It's beautiful. Go back and watch it. But today is our 1 year anniversary, and I was kind of saving that because there's so much other stuff going on, and we're just doing our thing. But Mark,
Well, it
man,
was
one
an
year.
amazing.
What do
It
you
was
think?
an amazing show. I know you can ready to get out of here with some great music and the roll call like you do on all your shows. But it was a truly amazing show. It was great seeing our mutual friend, Dr. Anthony, on the show on your anniversary edition. And I was just thinking about all the amazing guests you've had and all of that. And definitely you've
Yeah,
had some
man.
great guests and some more great guests that'll be coming on, and some that'll be, like you said, making return trips. Whenever Chrissy Key Rollins comes on, she always brings some great fire with her passion about things. And I'm looking forward to you bringing back Mandrell and some of those people that were in touch with that organization back, because I know he was involved with like the women's rights organizations and things along those lines. So I know you've already got some plans for some amazing things coming up in year two. So we've already got through year one, and year
Woo!
two is on the way. And we've also spawned a lot of great programs as well. So like I said, you had mentioned the other network that we are part of and everything, and Dr. Anthony is part of that as well. So if you really enjoyed this conversation, you enjoyed the fire that she was bringing, I would definitely urge folks to go check out her 6 o'clock show on Mondays. It actually follows right after mine and everything. So definitely I would urge people to go check out that show on Mondays, because her and her crew, they bring a lot of very powerful issues in there. Some of the things that she was talking about, including that's how I found out about the Morehouse situation, was from watching her show, and one of her partners in crime had actually brought it up to her. So that's how I found out about it. And then I did some research on it as well. So definitely, she's doing some great work up there in the DC area. She is down in Florida vacationing and enjoying her birthday and everything. But in that whole DC, Maryland area, as well as in her home state of Louisiana. She's doing some great work and continues to do some great work. And we just know that she is a truly amazing person. But then again, so are you. And you are a true
Thank
pioneer
you.
through
I'm
this
trying.
area.
I'm trying, man.
No, you're
I
doing some great
appreciate.
work. You're doing some amazing work, and folks need to be understanding that the work that you're doing is actually shedding a lot of light on a lot of issues. So whether it's this show, whether it's Funk Music with Zach, which I know we've got to do on tomorrow, or whether it's you appearing on other people's shows as well, because I know that you've appeared on some shows both on that other network, but also in that funk music community as well. So I know that part of one of your missions in life is to spread peace and love, as you oftentimes say, but also let people know what's going on in the world and to enlighten them in a lot of ways. So you have commended me for the great work that I've been doing, but I can't let it go without letting folks know that you are also doing some truly amazing work. And I consider you not just a friend, but a brother as well. And I definitely
Same.
have seen the true and amazing work that you're doing and continue to do. So any of those haters out there, and I know we were talking about that earlier, any of those haters out there that do not understand what the true mission is and all of that, y'all just need to get over yourselves and you need to just understand what's going on and what is truly happening, because it's about trying to spread that joy and peace and us trying to work together to make this a better world. We know that the world is got a lot of hope and it got a lot of promise and everything, but we've got our issues as well. And whether it's on your shows that you're doing here on Nine on the Grind, or whether it's the things that you're doing on that other network, podtv.tv, or whether it's the things that I'm doing, it's all about us trying to do our part to make this a better society. And I definitely have a great deal of respect for what you've been doing and the truly amazing guests that you bring on. So I just wanted to share that with you and let those haters know that they need to just get over it. I remember that there's and then I'll get off of this thought and everything, but there's a song that's out there called about haters, and it's actually a blues song, but it's one that I play sometimes called "Haters Gonna Be Hating." And if they're gonna be in that kind of camp, then we don't need to be dealing with them, and we just need to understand that that's who they are and everything. But there's a very popular song that I sometimes play on WCOM, and that's kind of the title of it. I want to say it's Miss Jody that does it, but the song is called "Haters Gonna Be Hating." And I'm gonna have to turn you on to that song sometimes, because I'm sure when you hear the
Yeah,
lyrics,
man.
you'll be like, I do exactly
Yeah,
those kind of things.
yeah. I love it. It's funny because we were talking about that off air, and I don't really put energy into it. But I see things here and there, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't bother me. I don't have to comment on it. I just see it. I see how people, it's a support thing, and we all out here trying to support each other. So that's all I would suggest to people. Listen, if you're out here, man, and you're trying to do something, so many great people. That's why I always mention you guys have supported what I do, and I really love you for that and appreciate that. And I'll always support what anyone does, only because that's what it's about. It's bigger than the music. It's bigger than the funk. It's about that peace, love, and harmony. And that's all I really want to bring to everybody out. Once a week, I get in your house, I get in your car, wherever you are. You can go back and watch it. And yeah, we get into some serious stuff. We get angry, we get emotional, we cry, we bleed, we laugh. This show is about everything. So never feel that you're alone in your emotions and feelings. And I have a really, really close friend, that always my coach, and she always lifts me up. Even when she's going through stuff, she actually has the energy to lift me up. So I just want to give all that back. So I love you out there. And you know who I'm talking about, so you guys need to check out that Deep in Roots and see what
Right.
that's about.
Yeah.
Um, you know, um, it's funny because a year went by so fast, and I was laying in bed this morning. I got up early and I was like, wow, I'm grateful for another day. And I was like, I got it on my calendar, 1 year anniversary of the show. And I was like, I can't believe that it's been a full year. That
Yeah.
means that so many things have happened in this COVID era. And I'm
Mhm.
calling it the COVID era. I don't really want to, but it's COVID era and George Floyd era will forever be linked together.
Right.
And unfortunately, in history, when you see one, you're going to see the other. And I'm just praying that everyone out there, your families are healing. Again, you know, my cousin Tina died.
Oh yeah.
And I have to say this on air. It broke my heart. Her brother just died a month ago. Tina died, and it really broke my heart. I made it through this week only because I called people and they helped me, and I really thought about it. And she came to me and she said, "Listen, I'm okay now." She came to me the other night and she said, "Listen, you do you. I'm okay." And she's one of my guardian angels. So Tina, um, and the Powell family in Bayshore, Long Island, where I'm from, and that's my family. Know that you guys are in my heart. You're special to me. I miss you. I can't be there, but nobody can be there anyway due to COVID.
Right.
So I did send a song up, for them, and hopefully they'll play it, and hopefully they'll dig it for her. But today was bittersweet. It's an emotional thing,
Mhm.
and Mark, you've been a rock. You're always there for me, and every time when I need to just vent or talk or yell or whatever, or just like bitch and moan about something, you're always there. So I appreciate you as my brother first, and then everything else second. I know you're gonna do hang out with your mom. What are you gonna do for
Yeah.
your mom? What are you gonna do
Well,
for your mom
yeah,
tomorrow?
we're probably gonna go hang out with her. We're actually talking about that right now. It's a question of whether we're gonna go up to Rocky Mount or whether she's gonna come down here to spend some time with her nephews. But there'll definitely be some family time and definitely us enjoying each other and enjoying that company. Because definitely on Mother's Day, we always make it a point to at least get together in some form or fashion and spend some time together. So definitely that's going on. Unfortunately, as you had said, these are some hard times for a lot of folks and all of that. And I'm still dealing with the fact that I've got a uncle that's very sick, very ill,
Yeah, I
and
know.
definitely over there in the hospital and all of that. So he actually had a bout with COVID, got over the COVID, but the other parts of aging are still going on. So he's dealing with some kidney issues and other issues. So it's a rough battle that he's part of and everything. So I'm just trying to keep track of that as well. And hopefully he'll pull through it. But if he doesn't, I'll just cope with that as well. Like I said, there's a part of the family that's been sometimes estranged, but he's still an uncle and still somebody that I care about.
That's right. Parting thoughts, brother, before you jump off the air and we get up out of here. My ship's getting ready to fly. I'm getting the message from the cockpit. Everybody's strapped in, so we get ready to get out of here. Mark, parting thoughts before we roll out, brother.
Well, no, the parting thoughts is kind of what we had just talked about earlier. Well, one of the things I was going to mention to Dr. Anthony, and I know she had to bounce off and enjoy that vacation time. I'm actually a little bit upset that she's down there in Miami because that's one of the areas that me and my buddy Ray used to love hanging out at all the time. So I am due a Miami trip and all of that. But she alluded to it, but we didn't really get into it. But there are people that are trying to overturn that Chauvin case and everything, and they're trying to use things like what's going on with that juror, as well as a number of other things to get that overturned. I mean, anybody that saw what happens knows that the man was guilty. He was found guilty, and we don't need to be spending a lot of money going back into another trial when it was plain as day that he was guilty. And we also need to have those videotapes released, and you alluded to that earlier as well, to the Elizabeth City folks that are going on in their case as well. I mean, it's been weeks since that case took place, and they're still holding on to those tapes and everything, and not even letting the family members see it. So these little stupidity games and chess games and all of that are going on need to stop, and we need to have true justice. And true justice is what this world is about. So we need to have a lot of true justice and all of that. And as I was telling you earlier, I had the pleasure, or some people may say displeasure, of talking to somebody that comes from a very conservative background and all of that. So one of the things that I've learned is that we have to listen to people, even people that we may not agree with, and all of that, because that's part of the learning process as well. So, like I said, when Matthew Kirchner, I believe was the last name, is on the show, and he'll be featured on an upcoming edition because we did a pre-record, there were definitely some things that he said that I did not agree with, including his attitude about LGBT rights and a number of other things, because he was taking a very staunch Christian conservative basis and all of that. But he's entitled to his opinion. I'm entitled to mine. And at
Yeah,
the end
man.
of the day, we don't have to see eye to eye and all of that. But at the same time, we do need to listen to all the attitudes. One thing I'm not a big fan of is folks that are closed-minded and that don't want to listen to folks that they may disagree with. I've even had friends of mine that have written off um, AOC because they felt that she's not earned her stripes and the rest of what they call the squad and all of that. So those people are entitled to those opinions, but I think that we all need to listen and learn, even from folks that we may not agree with.
And on that note, we're going to get out of here. Mark told you the last word. Listen and learn. Funk from the Front Seat, 9 on the Grind TV. It was our anniversary show today. Our special guest was Dr. Tawana Anthony. It was beautiful. It's Mother's Day. Go out and enjoy your moms. Treat your moms, your wives, your aunts, your nieces. Treat them all well. The cradle of civilization starts in the womb of a woman. So for all the beautiful women out there, I love you. And I'm getting ready to get out of here. Are you down with the revolution? Spiritual revolution that's going on. Happy Mother's Day. I love you, Mom. Ohio, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana.
Doctor now every single day.
Georgia's in the house. What's up, Q?
In every way. Welcome to it.
Venmo. Love you. Thank you for watching. Dr. Brookenstein. You were my first guest last year, and I love you for that. Philadelphia's in the house. DC's in the house.
Work to be done.
Minneapolis. Detroit. The city that never sleeps. New York City. Where you at? Strong Island. Bayshore for life. I feel you, Tina. Virginia, my family. You know I love you there. Maryland. What's up, Joe Key? Late Bloomer Band. West Coast, California. Make the kill. Lisa Graham. Hawaii. Alaska. Germany, Australia. England. India. Dubai. Africa, the whole continent. Yes, it's a continent. Funk from the Front Seat. Are you down with the revolution, y'all? Happy Head Funk Army in the house for life. We will funk. Afterglow 92416. Boogie Bunsen, I love you, Donna. Keep the funk alive. Yeah. I see you out there rocking. What's up, Marie? Yeah, music makes you feel so good. We're going to get our funk out one way or another. I refuse to quit. I'm going to use my wit. Florida, what's up, Leroy? Hit me up, man. Al, hit me up. John, hit me up. Spiritual revolution, yeah. This has been another great show. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Shout out to my main man, Jeff Roberson, man. Co-writer, author of that song, Revolution. Kevin Harrington, producer, Kane and Jams. Follow our stuff. We're trying to get stuff out. Just waiting on the economics to get right. Nappy Head Funk Army, we're part of the funk thing. Please hang out with us. Enjoy us. Go to YouTube and watch our older stuff. It's entertaining. You'll have fun. Like it or not, we are part of the funk fabric. And we're going to continue to be. And we've always been an independent kind of thing, and that's what we do. And thank you for everybody in the funk community that supports us. We appreciate you. We love you. Everything that you've ever done, you know, it touches my heart. You know, we're going to continue just to try to make it happen for you. So remember, peace, love, and harmony. And above all, keep it funky, y'all. I'm out. Number 9 on the Grind TV. Funk from the Front Seat.
We never left. Yo, we back. NHFA.